Now, before I talk about David Headley, let me give you a quick summary of Mohammed Ajmal Mohammed Amir Kasab, commonly known as Ajmal Kasab, was born in September 1987. He resided in Faridkot village, situated in the Okara district of Punjab, Pakistan. He dropped out of the Urdu medium Faridkot Government Primary School after completing Class 4 in the year 2000. In 2001, Kasab and his friend Ditu started working as laborers in Faridkot. Afterwards, he and his father went to Lahore to find work. In Lahore, he stayed with his father and uncle, Ghulam Rasul, in a rented house owned by Haji Kamar. Kasab began working as a laborer at Mazdurun Kaada and stayed there for around 5 years. In 2005, his father and uncle went back to their village. During this time, he would occasionally visit his village home. During one of these visits, he had an argument with his father about the money he had earned. Following the argument, he left home and began residing at Ali Hajveri Dargah in Lahore. With the help of his friend Shafiq, Kasab found a job. Shafiq mentioned that the owner of the place used to refer to Kasab as Balka. It was during this time that Kasab met and became friends with Muzaffar Lal Khan, who also worked there. Chapter 1, 11 months, 7 days, before Mumbai blast. Enrollment in Lashkar-e-Taiba, ideological conditioning and preparation for jihad. In November 2007, Kasab and Muzaffar Lal Khan traveled to Rawalpindi hoping to find better jobs. They rented a place to stay in Bangash Colony. Around December, while they were living there, they saw members of Lashkar-e-Taiba going door to door as part of a group called Jamaat-ul-Dawa. They were collecting goat hides from Eid-ul-Zoha sacrifices. Kasab and his friend deeply respected these individuals. They believed they were fighting for Kashmir's freedom and felt inspired to do something for their own people. While working in Sarai Alamgir, they attended camps organized by Jamaat-ul-Dawa. There, they listened to speeches about their cause. They learned that after Lashkar-e-Taiba was banned in 2002, it continued its activities under the name of Jamaat-ul-Dawa. It was during this time that Kasab and Muzaffar Lal Khan first considered undergoing training for jihad. Chapter 3. How Ajmal Kasab was trained. In this chapter, I'll explain the 3 different parts of Ajmal Kasab's training. In December 2007, they got the address of the Lashkar-e-Taiba office and found it in Raja Bazar, Rawalpindi. It was close to Bangash Colony. The people at the office took their full address and told them to come back the next day with their clothes and stuff. They went back the next day. On that day, someone at the office gave them a piece of paper with Daura-e-Sufa, which is a training program, Markaz, which means center, Muridke, written on it. They were given directions to Muridke and told to go there. They took a bus and traveled for 6 hours until they reached Muridke bus stand. From there, they walked about 1.5 kilometers to get to the campsite. They showed the letter to the person there and said they had come for Daura-e-Sufa. After a search, they were taken inside the office. They showed the letter to someone named Abu Fahad, who wrote down their names and addresses and allowed them to join the training. The Daura-e-Sufa training lasted for 21 days. Alongside Kasab and his friend, there were 30 other boys participating in the training. Initially, they were converted from Sunni to Ahl Hadith. A teacher, called Ustad, led physical exercises during the training. Additionally, they received lectures and teachings about jihad. Fahadullah and Mufti Saeed were the teachers Ustads during these sessions. The training occurred from December 2007 to January 2008. During this time, the trainer introduced them to Hafiz Saeed, Operational Commander Zakir Rahman Lakvi, Area Commander Abu Al-Kama, Muzamil, Training in Charge Abu Umar Saeed, and Abu Hamza. Second phase training, Daura-e-Amma. In February 2008, they were chosen to undergo the Daura-Amma training. Under the guidance of trainer Fahadullah, they received a letter marked by Vasul Daura-Amma, directing them to Mansera Markaz Aqsa. Enduring a 12-hour bus journey, they reached Mansera bus stand, from where they embarked on foot into the mountainous terrain. Upon arrival at the camp's entrance, they underwent a thorough search. Presenting Fahadullah's note to the gatekeeper granted them access to the office, where their details were meticulously recorded in a register. After spending the day there, they were transported by van to Buttal village. From there, they hiked to the hill's summit, a 30-minute journey led by the van's driver. During this 21-day second phase of training, they engaged in physical exercises, honed their running and mountain climbing skills, and received instruction in disassembling and assembling rifles and pistols along with firearm handling techniques. Kasab informed the magistrate that post-Dawra-e-Amma training, a mujahid could opt to return home or continue serving for 3 months of khidmat. Opting for khidmat, Kasab served the mujahideen diligently from March to May 2008. Third phase training, Dawra-e-Kasa. Kasab's trainer instructed him to join others for the Dawra-e-Kasa training at the Lashkar-e-Taiba office in Model Town District, Okara. Adhering to the directive, they boarded a van to Mansehra bus stand. Subsequently, a 12-hour bus journey led them to Lahore's Lori Ada bus stand. From there, they proceeded to Okara bus stand, followed by a 1-kilometer walk to the office located near a mosque in Model Town. Upon arrival, they informed the personnel of their purpose, seeking authorization for Dawra-e-Kasa. After scrutiny and verification via telephone, they were issued a letter stamped with the Lashkar-e-Taiba flag, along with directions to the training camp in Muzaffarabad. Enduring a 16 to 17-hour bus ride to Muzaffarabad, they then walked for about an hour, passing by the Lashkar-e-Taiba hospital named Neelam Daria, until they reached Sevai Nala, housing around 10 to 12 residences and a Lashkar-e-Taiba mosque, known as Baitul Mujahideen. Presenting the letter to a person named Saeed, they gained access to the training camp, also known as Maskar Aqsa, situated on the Chehalbandi hills of Muzaffarabad. The camp boasted high security measures, requiring permission from trainer Abu Muawiyah for movement in or out. This intensive training, conducted from May to July 2008, spanned 2.5 months. Participants were instructed in dismantling and assembling various firearms, including rifles and pistols, firing techniques, rocket launcher operation, and hand grenade usage. Additionally, they received training in satellite phone usage, GPS systems, and map reading. Physical endurance was tested with tasks such as enduring 60 hours without food while carrying heavy loads uphill. Kasab noted the rigorous nature of the training, which prompted 10 of his teammates to desert the camp. During the training period, an unfamiliar visitor arrived at the camp, greeted warmly by Hafiz Saeed, Zaki-ur-Rehman Lakvi, and others, including trainer Abu Muawiyah and Abu Hanzala. Upon completion, Kasab's trainer rewarded him with Rs 1,300 and instructed him to return home before visiting Amir Hafiz Saeed's office at Baitul Mujahideen. Chapter 2. David Headley, Key Role in Attack. By July 2008, Kasab and his team had nearly completed their training for the Mumbai attack, but without David Headley, the mission wouldn't have been possible. Let's talk about David Headley and how important he was for the attack in Mumbai. In 1971, there was a military college in Pakistan called Cadet College Hassan Abdal, where 2 boys studied together. Their names were Tahawur Hussain Rana and Daud Syed Gilani, and they were close friends. Rana went on to become a doctor in the Pakistan military. Later, he married a Canadian citizen and moved to Canada, where he opened a visa consultancy service called First World Immigration Service. Eventually, he expanded his business by opening branches in Toronto, New York, and Chicago. Syed Salim Gilani held a senior position in Pakistan where he met Alice Cyril Headley. They got married, but unfortunately, she later divorced him. After the divorce, she left Pakistan and returned to the U.S. The child of Syed Salim Gilani and Alice Cyril Headley was Dawood Syed Gilani, who had a fair complexion with 1 brown eye and 1 blue eye. His appearance made him stand out among Pakistanis, and he often faced ridicule, being called a foreigner. Despite this, Dawood lived in Pakistan until 1977, when he also went to the U.S. to join his mother. However, he maintained connections with Pakistan and became involved in illegal trade activities and substance abuse. He was arrested twice for these offenses, but was later released. These events continued until 2000. In 2001, he and Tahawur Hussain Rana got in touch with Hafiz Saeed while he was planning a new attack on India. Hafiz Saeed found Dawood Syed Gilani very useful due to his appearance. In 2002, Hafiz Saeed summoned Dawood Gilani to Pakistan and provided him with initial training at the headquarters of Lashkar-e-Taiba in Muridki. Following this, he underwent advanced training in Muzaffarabad. As a result, Dawood Syed Gilani visited Pakistan 5 times to meet with Lashkar's leadership. in February 2002, August 2002, April 2003, August 2003, and December 2003. After completing all his training, Daoud Sayed Gilani was assigned to Lashkar-e-Taiba's foreign recruitment wing, led by Sajid Mir. Subsequently, his trainer instructed him to return to the U.S. and change his name. Following this advice, Daoud Sayed Gilani returned to the U.S. and adopted his mother's last name, becoming David Coleman Headley. In 2005, he obtained a new passport under his new name and nationality. Now known as David Headley, he continued to reside in the U.S. and remained in contact with his school friend Tahawur Rana. In the early summer of 2006, Headley and Rana opened an immigration office in Mumbai, which served as a cover for his surveillance activities. Headley went on 5 extended trips to Mumbai, occurring in September 2006, February and September 2007, and April and July 2008. During each visit, he recorded videos of potential targets, many of which were later attacked in November 2008. Before departing on each trip, Headley received instructions from Lashkar members and associates about the specific locations he needed to surveil. After completing his surveillance, Headley returned to Pakistan to meet with Lashkar members, share his findings, and provide the surveillance videos. Prior to his surveillance trip in April 2008, Headley held discussions in Pakistan about potential landing sites in Mumbai for a team of attackers who would arrive by sea. Upon returning to Mumbai, he brought along a global positioning system, GPS device. He then embarked on boat trips around the Mumbai harbor, marking various locations into the device. Now that we've understood how David Headley sent all the videos and pictures of the location, all the training materials were handed over to Zarar Shah, a computer expert. He set up the media room where maps, CDs, and other relevant information regarding the attack were presented to all the terrorists. Zarar Shah presented various roads and their respective targets in Bombay on a large TV screen. He provided Kasab and Ismail Khan with a CD showcasing VTS and Malabar Hill, along with comprehensive information about the routes leading to these locations. Additionally, they utilized Google Earth on a laptop to demonstrate the routes from a Badwar Park in Mumbai to VTS and from VTS to Malabar Hill. The 10 terrorists were divided into pairs, forming 5 groups assigned to target various locations in Mumbai, with specific instructions to target foreigners. They were explicitly directed that at CST Railway Station, where crowds would be dense, they should fire indiscriminately without considering the religious affiliation of their targets. However, when targeting hotels, they were instructed to ensure that no Muslims were harmed during their assault. Zakir Rehman emphasized the importance of strategically placing RDX bombs around their intended targets before initiating the attack. The explosions were intended to create chaos, leading to traffic congestion and hindering police response, thereby facilitating their mission to target law enforcement officers and civilians. Continuing his narrative, Kasab informed the magistrate that during the meeting at location A, it was decided that he and Ismail would initiate firing at VTS to create casualties. Subsequently, they would proceed to Malabar Hill and continue their gunfire. Additionally, it should be noted that they were provided with fake IDs bearing Hindu names. At 6 a.m. on November 22nd, they woke up and departed for Karachi. After approximately 30 minutes of walking, they arrived at a creek, where Hafiz Saeed motivated them, emphasizing that their efforts must yield results. Fully trained in every skill, they were urged not to falter. He instructed them to switch on their mobile phones upon reaching Bombay. Around 7 a.m., a small wooden boat arrived to transport them. After sailing in this boat for an hour and a half, they were transferred to a larger vessel. At approximately 9 p.m., they boarded an even larger vessel named Al Husseini. A leader aboard the boat handed them sacks containing bombs and guns that had been packed in the Karachi house. Additionally, the leader provided a rubber speedboat, an air pump for the rubber boat, life jackets, blankets, rice, flour, oil, pickles, milk powder, matchboxes, detergent powder, tissue papers, bottles of Mountain Dew cold drink, dental cream, spray paint, towels, shaving kits, toothbrushes, and other essentials. The following day, the Al Husseini boat approached the border of the Indian Sea. Usman waved a broken engine belt, pretending that their boat needed assistance in replacing it. The name of the boat they targeted was Kuber. After taking 4 individuals aboard the Kuber hostage and stealing a TV and VCR, they inspected the diesel on the Indian vessel, finding it insufficient for the journey to Bombay. They transferred diesel from their Pakistani boat to the Indian one. Following the plan, they then sailed for Bombay, relying on GPS for navigation. On the fateful day of November 26th at 11 a.m., they tied red-yellow colored threads around their wrists to be recognized as Hindus. By 4 p.m., they reached the designated location where they spotted the towering buildings. Following the plan, Kasab contacted his leader, who instructed them to kill an Indian fisherman they had taken as a hostage, concealing the body in the engine room. The distance to Bombay was 4 nautical miles, so they began inflating the rubber speedboat using the pump. After half an hour, when the boat was fully inflated, it was lowered into the sea. They transferred all the necessary items for the attack onto the speedboat. While they were occupied with moving from the Kuber to the speedboat, they noticed another boat approaching, and in their haste, they forgot one satellite phone. At 9 p.m., Ajmal Kasab disembarked from the speedboat, still wearing his shoes, despite being 90 minutes late according to the plan. Upon getting off the boat, they encountered 2 individuals who inquired about their identity and origin. Kasab claimed they were students, while Ismail engaged in a verbal altercation with them.